Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to explore one of the most important ideas in economics: demand. Think about the last time you went to a shop or a market. You saw products, you look at prices, and you decided what to buy. Or maybe you decided not to buy something because it was too expensive. That decision-making process is what we call demand. So you are considering markets and demand. Under the strand consumers decision making, sub-strand demand for goods and services. And we want to focus on the focal area 2, the concept of demand. Are we saying this market, the base market? You see a young boy and a young woman exchanging goods. The young boy is the buyer and the woman is a seller. And here you see the boy giving money to the woman and the money also giving maize in exchange. That is the exchange, buyer and seller exchanging goods. By the end of this lesson, the learner should be able to define demand in their own words. Explain the two key requirements for demand: willingness and ability. Describe how prices affect quantity demanded. And last but not the least, relate demand to real life situations in their community. Before we proceed, I want us to consider this essential question: what does demand really mean? What does demand really mean? Before we dive into the definition, I want you to think about these three questions. Before then, let's consider a close-up of a buyer handing money to a seller and receiving exchange. He has bought the thing, he has paid, and the seller is giving him change. Now, these are the questions I want us to consider. What do you buy? Why do you buy what you buy? What does that mean? Maybe you buy a phone because you need to communicate with friends and family. In much the same way, maybe you buy food because you are hungry. Maybe you buy clothes because you need them or because you like how they look. The second question is, what stops you from buying something? Perhaps you want a new laptop, but it costs 3,000 and you only have 500 Ghana cedis. Or maybe you want to buy a car, but you can't afford it right now. Price is often what stops us from buying. How does price affect your choice? Think about it. If a bottle of water costs 1 cedi, you might buy the bottle, 3 bottles. But if it costs 5 Ghana cedis, you might buy only one or none at all. These three questions are at the heart of understanding demand. Keep them in mind as you go through today's lesson. Now, I want to consider definition of demand, but before you go to the definition, In the definition, you are going to see these 5 key components. 1, quantity. You are talking about the shopping cart. Willingness. You are looking at the person's interest. Ability. Here, your wallet, your money. That is affordability. 4th, the next one is various prices. The price at which the goods are sold at the market. That's the price tags. And last but not least, time period. That's the calendar. Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it yearly? That's the time period we are talking about. Now let's consider the official definition of demand. Demand is the quantity of a good or service that buyers are willing and able to purchase at various prices during a given period, while other factors remain constant. Let me break this down into 5 key parts. First, quantity. How many items that you want to buy? Is it 10 books, 5 shares, 100 loaves of bread? Quantity is very important in defining economics. Willingness. Do buyers want it? Do they desire it? Just because something exists does not mean people want it. Able. Talk about ability here. Can buyers afford it? Do they have the money? Do their wallets support what they want to buy? Willingness alone isn't enough. You also need the money to buy it. Various prices. Demand changes at different prices. Say at 2 Ghana cedis per cup of Gary, you might buy 5 cups of Gary. At 5 cedis per cup, you might only buy 2 cups. So price is a very important factor in demand. And last but not least, given the time period, we are measure demand over a specific time. Per day, per week, per month, per year. It's not just about wanting something. It's about wanting it and being able to afford it. Purchasing power. One important thing you need to understand is purchasing power. What is it? It's simply the ability of consumers to buy goods and services with their income. In other words, it's about how much you can afford to buy with the money you have. For example, imagine you have 50 Ghana cedis. With that money, you can buy 5 loaves of bread at 10 cedis each, or 10 cups of Gary at 5 cedis each, or 2 notebooks at 25 Ghana cedis each. But if you have only 10 Ghana cedis, your purchasing power is lower. You can only buy 1 loaf of bread or 2 cups of gari or nothing if you want a notebook. The key point you have to take note under purchasing power is when your income increases, your purchasing power increases. You can buy more. When your income decreases, your purchasing power decreases. You can buy less. This is why demand changes when people's income changes. If you get more money, you demand more goods. If you lose your job and have less money, you demand fewer goods. Let's consider these scenarios in a real life example to get understanding of demand better. Let me show you a real example of demand in action. This is a young man named Ni. Ni wants to buy a new smartphone. His current phone is old and does not work well anymore. He has saved 1,005 Ghana cedis to spend on a new phone. Ni has these options at his disposal. Option A, or what you call brand A, it costs 1,200 Ghana cedis. And these are the features of the smartphone. It has a decent camera, adequate storage, and a moderate processor. Looking at Ni's income, is affordable, but it does not have all the features Ni wants. Let's consider B. Brand B costs 1,005 Ghana cedis. It has a high quality camera, ample storage, and a fast processor. It has the features Ni wants and fits his budget perfectly. The brand B costs 1,005 Ghana cedis and Ni's have saved 1,005 Ghana cedis to buy that new phone. Let's go to brand C, which costs 1,800 Ghana cedis. It has an excellent camera, large storage, a power processor, and the premium features. It's the best phone. However, it's beyond Ni's budget. He would have had to spend 300 Ghana cedis more than he has. Ni's choice chooses brand B at 1,005 Ghana cedis. The question is, why? He wants a phone with good features, willingness. He can afford brand B because it costs exactly 1,005 Ghana cedis ability. Brand B is the best choice for the budget. It balances prices and features. This is demand in action. Ni is willing and able to buy brand B at 1,005 Ghana cedis, but he has no willing or ability able to buy brand C at 1,800 Ghana cedis. Let's have this question to reflect on. Question 1. At which price did you buy the most? Do you buy the most products? Do you buy most products, and why? At which price did you buy the fewest products? Why? Question 3. How did your purchasing power affect your decisions? Let's have this takeaway, the demand relation. When price goes up, quantity demanded goes down. When price goes down, quantity demanded goes up. This is called the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. The question I ask: we are connecting it to our everyday life by looking at 3 scenarios. Now we are going to apply what we have learned to real situations in your community. I'm going to show you 3 scenarios. 1. School canteen. And we have buying data for your phone. Buying data for your phone. You want to buy data to use WhatsApp and social media. A 1 gigabyte bundle costs 5 Ghana cedis. You might buy it every week. But if the price increases to 10 Ghana cedis, you might only buy it every 2 weeks, or you might buy a smaller bundle instead. Your demand for data decreases when the price increases. The second scenario is family buying food at market. Your family goes to the market to buy vegetables. When tomatoes are cheap, say 5 Ghana cedis per basket, your mother buys 3 baskets. When tomatoes are expensive, say 15 Ghana cedis per basket, he buys only 1 basket. Your family's demand for tomato decreases when the price increases. The third scenario is buying clothes. You see a shirt you like. It costs 80 Ghana cedis. You think it's too expensive, so you don't buy it. But when the shop has a sale and the shirt costs 40 Ghana cedis, you buy it. Your demand for the shirt increases when the price decreases. The key point I want to consider is demand is not just an economic theory. It's something you experience every day. Every time you decide to buy something or not to buy it, you are responding to demand. You are thinking about, do I want this? That's a willingness. Can I afford it? That's ability. Is the price fair? That is price consideration. These are the key things you must take note of. must take this as a summary for what you have done. Takeaways, key takeaways. The first one is demand is equal to willingness plus ability. Demand is not just about wanting to something. It's about wanting it and being able to afford it. Both willingness and ability are necessary. And the second takeaway is price affects quantity demanded. When price goes up, quantity demanded goes down. When price goes down, quantity demanded goes up. This is the inverse relationship. This is the inverse relationship that is between price and quantity demanded. The third takeaway, purchasing power matters. Your income determines your purchasing power. The more money you have, the more you can demand. The less money you have, the less you can demand. And the fifth one, demand helps us understand markets. Understanding demand helps us understand how markets work. It explains why prices change, why some products are popular, and why others are not. Remember this. Demand is one of the most important ideas in economics. It affects your everyday life every day, or everyday life. By understanding demand, you become a smarter buyer, a more informed citizen. We are looking at closing reflection. Before we finish, I want you to think about these questions. This question: how will understanding demand change the way you make buying decisions? Think about it for a moment. You now know that demand is about willingness and ability. Price affects how much you buy. Your purchasing power determines what you can afford. Demand is happening in your community every day. So the next time you go to the market or the canteen, you will think differently. You must ask yourself, can I afford this at this price? Is this price fair? What else could I buy with this money? If the price were lower, would I buy more? This is critical thinking. This is what economists do. That is what smart consumers do. By understanding demand, you are not just learning economics. You are learning how to make better decisions with your money. You are learning how to be a responsible citizen who understands how markets work. Thank you for your participation today. You have done excellent work. See you next lesson. Bye.